model, TV host, author, and mom. Padma Lakshmi has lived a life in the spotlight full of fashion, family, and yes, some delicious food. And now she's written all about it in a very revealing new memoir called Love, Loss, and What We Ate. And Padma is with us this morning. Good morning. Good to see you.
Nice to see you, too.
We were both talking. Your daughter's a little under the weather.
Yeah, she's better now, but she spent all last week having a fever, so.
So you're juggling the book tour and juggling mom, which, of course, is relatable to so many working moms. You're doing your thing and caring for your daughter.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all try to balance everything, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So what I'm going through is no different than what most mothers who work are going through now.
And that's a lot of what your book, I mean, I know people have focused in on romance and some of the other things, but in reality, this memoir is relatable in so many ways, from talking about insecurity to talking about the struggle to become a mom. How difficult was it for you to open up in this way?
You know, it was really difficult. Other than having Krishna, it was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do. It was like having a baby, except Krishna took much less time to come out. It took me over 4 years to write this book. I can't believe that you're actually holding it, you know, in your hands. It was hard, but I wanted to do a forthright book. Even when it was supposed to be a healthy eating book, I wanted to use the details of my own life and speak to them in a frank way to illustrate some philosophies that I have about food and motherhood. And I think we all need to have just an open discussion as women, as immigrants, as women of color, as mothers, about our bodies, about work, about the fact that, you know, sometimes it takes longer to become who you're going to be.
Yeah. It's so true. And you mentioned your daughter's name, it's Krishna. And in the book you talk about, at one point, even wanting to change your name to something that sounds more American. And here you have Krishna.
I know. Well, I mean, I cringe when I think about it now. But, you know, again, part of the pact I made with myself about writing this book is that I wanted to be truthful and really tell my story in a non-filtered form. And yes, I did do that. I mean, listen, changing your name is as old as immigrants from Ellis Island. A lot of people do it. And I think I just wanted to fit in like most teenage girls.
You know, and speaking of teenage girls, one day Krishna will be a teenager, and she may see a copy of the book, you know, in the
she
family.
Has them. She's seen them around the house now.
But she'll be able to read it and understand it and hear about your struggle to have her, about the paternity questions surrounding who her father was. Did you think about that when you were writing it? Did you visualize her reading it one day?
You know, I'm sure Krishna will read it a lot sooner than I want her to read it, but not for those issues. There's been so much written about all the issues you mentioned already that as soon as she's old enough to Google herself, she will find those things. It's my job as her mother to tell her where she came from and who she is, regardless of a book or articles in the newspaper. And she knows who her father is. Her father is very present in her life.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think every child at some point realizes that their parents are human. And, you know, I hope that I can use my life to help guide my daughter to make strong decisions from a place of power and owning her body or owning her decisions.
And that's the message beyond Krishna, obviously the most important person in your life, to your fans and other young women, as you've pointed out, who may have the same insecurities that we all have, but think when you're on television that there's no way you could have these issues, and you're exposing that.
I mean, Tamron, you know that, you know, we have hair, we have makeup, we have pretty clothes. There are people who help us with that. I don't look like this when I take her to school in the morning.
I tell people it's all smoke and mirrors. I'm really a black boy when I wake up in the morning, and I'm transformed into this girl somewhat.
Exactly. And so, like, you know, for me, I really wanted to have an open conversation. I wanted to say, look, I did use my looks as an asset, as a model, as someone on TV. No one asked Tom Colicchio how he keeps the weight off, you know, from Top Chef, or how he fits into his clothes. It's something that women have to deal with in the media much more than men, and in real life. You don't have to be eating for a living to have, you know, issues about weight. You don't have to be on TV or in front of the camera to have body issues. And I think, you know, a lot of girls and women do.
Well, you know, it's an empowering message. It's not a pity party. It's just the truth, and it is what it is. So thank you so much. And I hope Krishna recovers fast. We're all coughing around here.
I know.
Padma, thank you again. The book is called Love, Loss, and What We Ate. And you can catch Padma Thursday night on the 2-part season finale of Top Chef on our sister network.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.